Okay, welcome everybody to a special video presentation of the Debt Saver and Wealth Creator Staircase. I'd love to show you this little visual image, and sometimes as much fun as we have on podcasts, it can be difficult to describe an image that we see. And sometimes, like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, I'm not much of an artist, so maybe this will just be 200 or 300 words, I hope. I'll try to keep this video as quick as possible. But I wanted to quickly show you the way we talk about overcoming the problem of opportunity cost. So I'm going to show you guys a quick image on our screen here. And as we do this, we'll walk through a little whiteboard that I think has made a lot of difference to me and most of the people I work with. So wanted to pull up a little whiteboard here. And as you can see the whiteboard, I'm going to try to draw this little image of a arrow going across the middle of the screen. And that represents time, the time of our life. So, and over here, we're going to draw a 0 representing net zero, meaning we're born with nothing in our hands and we leave Earth with, we can't take a U-Haul with us, as they say. So this is also a net zero, and when you go above the line, you are worth more. And when you go below the line, you owe more. Okay, so we have sort of a track that we're running on. Now, how do we buy things when we don't have any money saved? Let's say that you're starting out life, you have nothing saved, and you want a car this afternoon. How would you buy that car? Well, essentially, you'd have to go below net zero to buy that car. So now we've got this terrifying drop from net zero, and now we're below net zero. And usually when we borrow from a bank, they're going to ask us for a monthly repayment schedule on their terms, right? So that begins this staircase, climbing and clawing and scratching our way back up as fast and as hard as we can back up to net zero right here. And right here, maybe 4, 5, 6 years later, we finally can call up, like some of these financial gurus on the radio and scream, "I'm debt free!" But of course, that's not totally true, because now our asset is worth less. Yes, we've paid off the debt, but we've been leaking all this interest to a bank down here who's just getting greedy and wealthier all along the way. And of course, if we don't make these payments to the bank, they could repossess the car, wreck our credit, or do so many other things that just don't make us feel so free after all. So, and no matter, even if we have somehow been able to climb our way back out of the debt staircase, we now have a 5-year-old, 6-year-old vehicle, and the kids are needing a bigger back seat. So what do? We typically fall right back into the same pattern and go buy a new car because we haven't saved anything, and we repeat this cycle over and over again. And that's the problem with debt. Now, most of us think we can beat the financing, credit cards, auto loans, mortgage rackets by simply saving. So every month, we diligently save our money. We take the bus for 5 years or whatever it takes, climb, climb, climb. We're not earning much interest, and what is earned is taxable. And we get to this point where we've got all this money packed away in our little nest egg. And what do? We feel good about that. And so we walk into the car lot and we pay cash for the car. Well, to get the money out of our bank account, we had to withdraw it. So we're now falling back down to net zero. And how much interest are we now earning on this money? Well, nothing, right? It's gone. It's in the car now. And we've broken compound interest on that money. If we had never bought the car, it would have continued to grow over our lifetime, right? But without it, we've no longer got that dollar earning anything for us. It's now sitting in the car that we purchased. And we can only start to earn interest again slowly as we save for the next car. And that again is the mirror image of the debtor staircase. The saver's staircase doesn't help us break free. We're still tied down to net zero. So what I like to talk about with our clients is a totally different, fundamentally different way to save up for the future, and that's through wealth creation. So essentially imagine yourself, if you could simply lift off from net zero, if you could take that financial vehicle, whatever it would be, and begin to build and grow wealth sustainably and predictably, you could find a way to not only save for your future, like the saver staircase, but also use the funds and liquidate the assets without stopping the growth on the money. Wouldn't that be incredible? So in that case, what we would do is simply build up, saving like the saver would, but when we needed some money, we simply pull from our own wealth generated asset, like a cash value life insurance policy designed with non-direct recognition life insurance loans, and we repay the loans on our own schedule. And when we pay those loans back on our own terms, we're not just back to net zero, we've actually gained some financial ground. We're better off at the end of that repayment than we would have been had we simply paid cash for the vehicle, or certainly better than if we had used another person's bank. So this is the power of becoming a wealth creator, where you've got the financial environment under your control rather than a bank keeping it in their control. So I hope this has been helpful. It's just a simple image, but I hope that this helps give you some clarity and some purpose for building the financial future that you can dream of.